The following presentation will examine habits and trends among American citizens about television and movie online streaming. We will compare our own findings to those of professional surveys while attempting to identify the transition from live cable television to online streaming of television and movies. The next 5 slides will compare data that the members of this group gathered in order to inform you about our personal online streaming habits. Based on data gathered by our research group, participants typically watched a relatively low number of different programs when streaming content online. A common term for watching many episodes of a single series via streaming is binge watching. For example, I, Gregory, was binge watching That 70s Show, as I almost always watched at least 4 or 5 episodes in a row. As you can see here, our combined totals for number of programs watched per day has an average of approximately 4.57. 2 of the participants typically viewed episodes from only one series per day, while the third tended to switch up which programs they watched. As a group, we never exceeded 6 series in one day, while we always watched at least 4 series in one day. This pie chart gives an accurate visual representation of which genres of television shows/movies were viewed each day among all members of the group. The majority of programs were of the drama or comedy variety, followed by an increasingly small number of varied genres of film, such as horror, thriller, and science fiction. One assumption that may be drawn from this visualization is that television and movie streamers typically watch lighter genres, such as comedy and drama, rather than horror or science fiction. Among the members of the group, an overwhelming majority of services used was by Netflix, followed by Hulu. A small amount of members chose to watch live cable television, approximately 10% of the time. It is important to note, however, that this chart is representative of the amount of times each member accessed each service, and not the amount of time spent on each service. In the same vein as our previous chart, this chart maps the proportion of services used by the hour rather than the amount of times accessed. This chart gives a similar but more accurate representation of the distribution of time using each service. Of the 3 members, we had a combined total of 50.25 hours spent on Netflix in just 7 days. Conversely, a total of 3.75 hours was spent watching actual live cable, while a total of 67.75 hours were used for online streaming in some form or another. the chart Video Streaming Services Gain Popularity, percentage of people in the US who use or subscribe to video streaming services, seen on the previous slide, is data based on the years 2012 to 2013. The 4 video streaming services that are covered are Netflix, Hulu, Hulu Plus, which is a paid version of Hulu, and Amazon Instant Video. Based on the results from this chart, Netflix seems to be the video streaming service most used in 2012 and 2013. The least used for video streaming is Hulu Plus. Netflix seems to be the most viewed because of the price of services and the fact that they give their customers 1 month free service as well as free trials. The price with Netflix is as low as $7.99 per month per service, while Amazon and Hulu Plus do not allow customers to have free trials or a month free services. This infographic, which is independent of our group, shows the amount of time spent watching different mediums by age and ethnicity. It creatively displays how as age increases, video streaming decreases, and live cable television watching increases. Though most content is still viewed through cable television, the fact that young adults, as well as adults, are streaming more than the elderly can be seen as evidence that online streaming is gradually becoming a mainstream means of viewing content amongst people in their prime. This next chart shows the age range of people actually streaming videos. With 62% streaming videos online, the Generation Y, aka ages 13 to 33, seems to have the highest rate of online streaming, while baby boomers seem to have the least amount with only 30%. Overall, between the ages of 13 and 54, 51% are typically streaming videos online. More than half. Similarly, yet differently, this chart, named Popular Online Streamed Audio Services Accessed by Consumers, shows that streaming music videos on YouTube was most popular in the year 2012. Streaming videos through satellite radio online service was the least popular during that time. And streaming personalized online music and streaming AM and FM radio range from approximately 20 to 35%. This chart examines the amount of zero television households, aka households that do not have TVs, versus houses that do own TVs. You can see here that the majority of zero TV homes belong to people between the ages of less than 25 to 44, where you can also see that the amount of households that use TVs increases depending on the average household age. Since younger groups are typically more likely to adapt to developing technologies and norms, or even develop them themselves, it is safe to say that this chart implies that, based on previous data, Americans are transitioning towards online streaming rather than live cable television. Though these next charts lack data regarding the decline of live cable television, in my opinion, they represent some of the strongest evidence for the transition to online television and movie streaming. The first chart shows the increase in Hulu Plus subscribers between quarter 4 of 2010 and quarter 4 of 2012, while the second graph shows the increase in Netflix subscribers between 2004 and 2012. In 2010, Hulu Plus had less than 500,000 subscribers, which increased to over 3 million by 2012. That is likely due to increasing content and the education of the general public about online streaming. Netflix, on the other hand, had 2.61 million subscribers as early as 2004, which may not be fair to state since Netflix did not begin their revolutionary online streaming until 2007. In 2007, however, Netflix had 7.48 million subscribers, which has increased to a whopping 35.49 million subscribers by 2012, which is an enormous increase.